we can't get together simply because we just had a child. Like, I think that would be the wrong reason for us to be together. If we wanted to be together, it has to be because we both genuinely want to be together. I'm not angry anymore. I was angry before. I'm not even angry anymore. Now I'm just like, let me just give my son. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, I'm done with the fighting. I'm done with just let me do what I need to do. The maddest thing is you remain church, isn't it? You say, will she ever say to you, oh, make sure my child is home by this time? Mad, because me finding out I was having another child and having another child have actually affected my relationship with my first son. Because from that message that I sent, I didn't see him for about a year and a half. I'm not angry, but I'm angry, bro.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 5 of Figuring Out Fatherhood. On today's episode, I'm here with Mathias. What are you saying, my bro?
I'm good,
Thank you for coming on. I'm good. I'm good. Just some background information. Mathias is a father of 2, 1 boy and 1 girl, the perfect split. Mathias, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, obviously, like I said, Mathias, Nigerian, obviously. Yeah, man, just all round guy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, school, I own an escape room.
Can you please let everyone know what's it called? What is the space called?
It's called Fox in a Box London, so you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, I was going to say MySpace, for Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Fox in a Box, LDN.
You know, to the matter at hand today, so usually what I done previously was I'd get dads to come on and talk about specific topics, but now I'm just more interested in your story. I want to know what your story is. You've got 2 children. That can't be easy in general.
But do you know it?
So talk us through
cool.
from the very beginning.
Little man, obviously he's 5 years old now. When that happened, when I found out I was having a son, so I wasn't even living in...
How old were you at the time?
How old was I? So 5 years ago, how old am I now? 31, so like 26, 25. Yeah, 25, 26 I was. Okay. Yeah, 25. It was 25, I was shuffling. It was 25, I was shuffling because that was when... That was the first time I ever... You know, back in the man would have like scares and all that. But I didn't have any, like... No scares, nothing. Nothing.
Just so right to it.
Listen, the first moment was like, and the maddest thing is, because I wasn't even living in London at the time, so I moved out to Leeds for work.
Okay.
So I was working there, and then obviously I found out, and it was like, I've just got this great job, I'm in Leeds, I'm just starting, like, the beginning of my career, starting to...
Were you together? Were you in the...
No, we were dating, we were very good friends.
Okay.
We were very, very good friends. A lot of people actually thought we were dating, but we weren't, but that's another story for another day.
You were just... fair enough.
That's another story for another day, but like I said, we were very good friends. Started off, obviously she told me that she was pregnant, and then I was in Leeds sometimes. It was hard because it was like, I've done all this work to come move to Leeds. And the thing is, I wasn't even meant to move to Leeds at that time. I was meant to actually move to America. Yeah. So when I actually had an interview, I went to New York, I had a job interview, I had everything there. And then when I got that news, I was just like, okay, cool. And the funny thing is, not the funny thing is, but the main thing that one of my boys told me was like, you know what, this is happening now. You might have to put, not even you will have to put America to the side. You're going to have to put, literally moving away from the start, because obviously... To
prioritize your son.
You have to put him as number one. Like, do you know what I mean? Obviously, not that I needed anyone to tell me that. It's just, I just needed someone to tell me that at that time. Do you get what I mean? But long story short, it's like, obviously, I ended up not moving to America. I ended up moving to Leeds, and then found out that obviously I was having a child. Had to come back and had to move back to London. Luckily, the company I was working for had offices in London, so I was able to make that transition. It was smooth, and obviously just to say that I'm having a child. So during that whole pregnancy, because obviously we weren't really together, she obviously, you know, about sickle cell and all of that stuff with it. So she obviously was a sickle cell. She had a sickle cell disease.
Okay, so
that meant that when we found out obviously that she was pregnant, we had to do all the checks. You know, you have to do the checks.
Absolutely.
you can't risk any of that stuff. It's mad, and I know what she obviously has to go through every now and then when she has to go for like blood transfusions and all of that stuff, like for, appointments. So I understand what that was, but we did all of that, make sure that I wasn't carrying, I wasn't a carrier, and obviously the fact that she had a disease, we had to just make it work. But he's fine. Like obviously I'm not a carrier, so he then has to worry. But I mean my son. Like he then has to worry about obviously who he.
Well, he's a carrier.
Yeah, he's a carrier now.
But he hasn't got sickle cell.
He hasn't got sickle cell. Okay. He's a carrier from his mom's side.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, he doesn't have the disease because I'm not a carrier, and and my blood type is whatever XYZ. But it sort of like works in a way where he doesn't have the disease. So if he was to have a child with whoever, so he needs to then make sure that he doesn't have a child with someone that is either a carrier or has the
of course. So, let's pause for now. Pause for now. A little intermission.
Yeah.
If you're thinking of having children at any point in time soon, make sure you check, please, while your sickle cell status. It's very important, please. As you can imagine, this is your experience, and it's going to be your son's experience and your son's mum's experience. So
obviously, there's too many people. There's a lot of people involved in it now. So it's. But yeah, man, found out I was having a son. Did everything, did all the checks. It was fine. And yeah, man, it was born. But obviously, it wasn't in easy circumstances because, like I said, we weren't together. So you know how it is with Africans. You know, the parents in there. The maddest thing is you remain church. So that's already even people.
Okay.
Like pastors will call me in.
Okay.
His uncle will call me in. Just you know how that.
And what were they saying? Just talk us through.
Bro,
what were they saying?
It's just that kind of conversation where they want to ask. Okay, obviously, the fact that it's in the church, it's wild.
Of course,
itself, but it's not like it happened, didn't it? It's just not unfortunate, but it just happened that we both sort of like went to the same church, innit? But you get like obviously pastors and uncles talking about trying to figure out, okay, what's the next move, and that was the difficult part for me because I wasn't ready to make that sort of commitment at that time anyway.
How did you communicate that? Did she want to, or was she open?
So the thing is, at first, because obviously we weren't together. It's obviously hindsight. Like they say, hindsight is a beautiful thing now because obviously we're 5 years down the line now. It's easier for me to sort of like talk about it and all of that stuff. But to begin with, obviously we weren't together. We were very good friends. When that happened, then it's like, okay, where do we go from here? Well, since we both sort of understood each other at the time, it was like, okay, let's see how it goes. Let's have a child and to just take it from there. It was easy for me. I mean, it's not easy for you. It's also not easy for me. Like it's the beginning. It's the first steps for both of us. It's the first experience for both of us. It's the first time she's going through this. So it's the first time I'm going through this as well. But it was good. We had our communication and it was fine. But obviously, eventually, communications get like lost, and it's like things get when you have people included in it and people. See, the thing with me is I tend to keep a private life, like a very, very, very private life. And it's like, and it's not because I don't want anyone in my business. It's just simply, it's just like normal stuff. You know what I mean? You don't really want every Tom, Dick and Harry coming in.
I agree.
And so especially when it's like a touchy subject, like your family, your friends, your children, should I say. Do you know what I mean? So we sort of like kept that between ourselves, but it got to a point where it just spiraled out of control. And that was simply because my mom got involved, her mom got involved, like our parents got involved. It was just long, and I hate things like that. So I would do anything I can to avoid anyone else trying to.
When you say got involved, do you mind me asking in what capacity? What were they?
By got involved, I mean, okay. So, like I said, we decided that obviously we're gonna just try and see how this goes. Obviously, like this is 5 years ago now, so. A couple of things are obviously being sorted where it was an issue, but it wasn't an issue anymore, and then it was an issue. Obviously, there's still issues now, but there's always going to be issues, especially when you're not with. You get what I'm trying to say. So there's always going to be that, no matter how. Oh, it's okay. There's always going to be that. Oh, why are we not? So do you get what I mean? Or why didn't it work with us? But at the time, for me, and I was genuine with her at the time. Like, listen, we can't get together simply because we just had a child. Like, I think that would be the wrong reason for us to be together. If we wanted to be together, it has to be because we both genuinely want to be together. But obviously, it was just ups and downs. Priorities was making sure that we have, obviously, safe delivery of the child.
Yeah, of course.
Well, baby well, everything ready for the arrival of the child. So we had that ready. We had that back. But maybe 7-8 months into the pregnancy, like, conversation, like, mate, everything just went left. And it went left simply because it came down to it all came down to me and the mom being in a relationship. Okay. Right. And during the pregnancy, I'm mad enough to admit that I even tried it, the whole relationship with her. Yeah. Just for the sake of peace of mind. I just okay, this doesn't stop me doing anything else. Didn't stop me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
your life remained relatively the same. Yeah.
Life was the same. Only difference was I had to just do that simply. But then I know that was the wrong thing. So I know eventually that's a temporary fix. I know eventually something somewhere somehow is gonna go wrong.
Okay, let me ask you, just intermission. How did you realize, or at what point did you realize that's the wrong thing to do?
I mean, we both couldn't decide whether being together. We both couldn't decide if we wanted to be together because we wanted to be together, or because we had a child. But because we had a child now, it's always difficult to try and figure out. Any reason could simply be because we have a child. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But because at that time there was bickering, there was obviously little things that got out of control. Small things become big things, and all this little silly stuff. I say like cursing that.
Oh, go ahead. I swear. Go.
Sometimes I like to express myself in a.
It lets people know the gravity of the situation. Yeah, of course. Yeah, do your thing.
So, basically, it's a Sunday as well, so I probably shouldn't. Go ahead. Swear that. But yeah, like I said, obviously we decided that I then said that you know what, fuck it, we're gonna try it out and see how it works. I did that. And I know that was not the right thing, but it's cool, it's whatever, we live here as that. Now, fast forward now, child's born. Bruv, I don't even know where it got so bad, like the relationship between, like there was a point where it got really, really bad, and I couldn't even tell you what happened or how. Like, it's been so long ago now, there's been so much that happened at that time, but it's mad. One of her friends even had to call me to say that, yo, she's in hospital. She's in labor. Like, do you get what I mean? For when she couldn't even tell me that,
so things had deteriorated to that point where
it's probably even a nicer word.
Wow. Okay.
Well, it was all over the place.
Okay. Pause again. How did it make you feel knowing that she couldn't tell you herself, or not?
Bro,
the nurse,
do you know what's mad? It's crazy because when the friend told me, I was like, the first thing I asked was, is she okay? Of course. Not the baby, is she okay? Because I know that I've been, like I said to you, I go to like a lot of her appointments when she has all of this. So I know what she goes through. So the first thing that actually came to mind was, right, like, okay, this has happened. Is she okay? But then at the same time, I'm thinking, wow, man's got a son. Like, even though she's not told me, no one's told me, but I now know that a child has come from me and it's up and is living and it's breathing. Do you know what I mean? So I've got so much emotions going through my mind at the time, and it's like, yo, I don't even know what to do. So I phoned one of my boys, and then he was like, I told him, I said, this is what's happening. He's like, what? So what are you doing? Let's go straight to the hospital.
I love that.
Bro, he came, he grabbed me, he was like, what? You don't care what's going. You don't care what's happening. Like your son's just been born. I'm taking you to the hospital now, and he literally took me there, and I got to see him. Like she didn't say nothing. Obviously, she was tired amongst other things. She just had a baby, so trying to go back and forth with me is probably the last thing she wanted to do right there and then. But yeah, man, that was like one of the greatest things that. It's mad. One of the greatest things anyone's ever done for me was that my guy literally come into because I wouldn't have been able to just be like, okay, let me by myself just get up and be like, I don't know why.
Multiple reasons. The fact that you weren't getting on at the time, she may not want you to be there. You may distress her while you're present. It could be any reason.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. And I think that's probably why I appreciate, like, he's his godfather now.
Oh, it's amazing.
Plus other things, do you know what I mean? So the fact that he actually took me there when it was calm, got to pick him up, got to see, like, got to, kiss him, all of that stuff. And yeah, but he was like, that was done, hospital was done, everyone's home now, mom's fine and healthy, baby's fine and healthy. Everyone's back home. It's all calm now. Well, by calm I mean as in there's no need for any hospital visits. Babies, like, do you know what I mean? Everything's done, dusted. Yeah, man.
So okay.
It's crazy because I ain't really spoken about this this in a very long time, and it's like more time when I speak about it. Because I'm limited to certain things that I really want to say and really want to, just because even though he's 5 years now, things are still not,
of course,
hunky dory. Do you get what I mean? It's still tits up, like it's still not. You get what I mean? It's still not plain sailing. There's still ups and downs, but
that's what we're here to talk about. If you don't mind, so
we're here, man.
So the baby's on board, the dust has settled, no hospital appointments anymore. Everything's good. So I want to know, how were you able to imprint yourself as a dad in both their lives?
So the thing is, I was always like bang on. Like I was always there. I was always like, okay, this is what I need to make sure. Like, when you watch films, you see all these things that you're like, nah, you can't be. You just start having all them things playing in the back of your mind, or you can't be one of them dads that's not there or not there from day one or not, or like, do you know what I mean? Regardless of whether you know right from wrong, you always have things in the back of your mind playing. Like, you need to get, you need to make sure certain things are done. So, bro, literally, I'm trying to go back to them times there where, like I said, obviously our relationship was back and forth, but. Even after the baby was born, we still sort of gave, let's try this out.
Okay.
After he was born.
Yeah.
After he was born. Up until
yeah.
his first birthday.
Okay, you gave it a good go. You really gave it a good go.
Yeah. Up until give or take his first birthday. First birthday his birthday was in September. Then obviously, it was working. Like, but I knew I was still doing it simply because I just wanted to make sure that, like I said to you, like, people were just all up in like Africans, and you always have the parents in your ear. You always have
everyone.
Everyone's like that. But it even got to a point where my parents, my mom's had a meeting at her parents' crib, just because my parents know each other as well. It was a big mess, man.
Okay.
It was. I'm not trying to air my dirty laundry to an extent. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, our parents knew each other as well. So from when they had a perspective of how this should go, if they didn't agree with it, then they're bickering with each other. And then us as the children, if we're not on the same, we're bickering against each other. So it's just like, everyone's just bickering with everyone. Everyone just thinks they're right. Everyone like just wants to lead the way. And obviously, with not women like that, but with mothers, they obviously have priority with the child in terms of upkeep and in terms of like who's sort of like the sole custody
Why do you think
by default?
Why do you think they have?
I mean, come on. They, as mothers, obviously they go through the whole process of obviously pregnancy, having a child, and with experience, with everything that you sort of know, the mother's always, you know, when you're in the hospital, the mother is always it's always the baby of the mother is the full cost. What's the word I'm trying to look for? The
primary carer.
Primary carer. Bloody hell. Where did that go? Yes, the primary carer of the child, just by default from day one. And so they sort of had that and used that as not a weapon, but it was like, bro, when I tell you I did so much.
To me, you've said a lot. You said a lot in the last 10 minutes or so. You told me quite a lot. And the one thing I want to know, throughout that process, were you happy at any point? At any point, were there even pockets of happiness?
Bro, do you know when I was happy? Don't get me wrong. There was certain like I said, I did so much to make sure that I was in his life, even if it's little things like picking him up from school, taking him to school. But all of that stuff was restricted, my bro. All of that stuff was restricted, and it got to a point where, because I was just like, I told you that I tried to make this thing work, and we actually tried. But bro, if something's not working, you won't even need someone to tell you that it's not working. You can both just feel that we're doing this simply because of our child. Like we're not growing together. Like every time we're together, is either I'm changing him and it has to do with him. Do you get what I mean? Let's say I go to the house and I go, yeah, we're together or whatever, but it's like after I finish changing him and he's gone to bed, or I fed him, burped him, and he's gone to bed and he's gone to sleep, I'm not chilling. I don't chill there. And, do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So whenever I was there, it was just we could both see it as well, and it's like, well, why are we deceiving ourselves? If this isn't going to work, then let's just try the co-parenting thing and see where that goes. And bro, we tried that, and that was going significantly well, like to an extent, because we've gone past the whole bickering, we've gone past the whole family bickering, because at this point I was just like, yo, listen, you need to start bringing external party into this. I need to try as much as possible to limit the amount of eyes and mouths that's speaking over this.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? But we both then decided that, okay, this isn't gonna work. We tried the co-parenting thing, right? And that was fine. That was fine for a year. By fine, I mean basic. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just basic. It wasn't as if I was having him for like overnight or for the weekend or
he was still fairly young. Yeah.
He was still fairly young, so
yeah,
I wasn't too like mad at that. But obviously, it got to a point where I'm just like, okay, like what's going on here now? I'm looking more like a babysitter as opposed to a dad. Do you get what I mean? And it's like, bro, if I'm gonna ask you a question because you've got a beautiful daughter, and if I'm gonna ask you this question, so you said obviously you and her mom not together.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Cool. So you go and you're going to spend a day with her, right? So you told her you're gonna come pick her up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever, right? Will she ever give you sort of like a limit, or will she ever give you and will she ever say to you, oh, make sure my child is home by this time?
Oh no.
Do
you know what is?
No.
No, she wouldn't.
Because you're probably thinking there's okay, maybe not you're probably thinking, let me not put words in your mouth, but there's obviously a limit. Do you get what I mean? There's always, like, when it's home time. Do you get what I mean?
Do you know what I was going to say is it's language that we speak to each other, and that's important when it comes to co-parenting. There's certain things you don't say, like, make sure my son is home by this time.
Yeah.
See, it's antagonizing, if I'm being honest here.
And that right there was literally the basis of everything that had been happening.
Okay.
I tend to always take things on the chin, just pocket things, just be like, it's cool. I tend to not worry about, like, just to push things to the side. I tend to do that a lot, especially when I know it's it could mess with me either mentally or whichever way. And bro, when I tell you, I'll tell you a story, bro. This is literally what happened. I went to pick him up, right? It was an evening. It was like 3-4 o'clock. I was only gonna have him just for like a couple hours. We just gonna chill, do whatever, right? So I got to the crib. I went to go pick him up, right? And then I've taken him home. But I've noticed like a rash. Again, if you've never seen that, you would just question it.
Yeah, of course.
It's your child, isn't it?
It's your child.
If you've seen something that's not right with the child, you just ask the mom, oh, by the way, it's normal stuff, right? So I've just said to her, I said, oh, did you notice this? Or is this something that, that's just...
So let me ask you before you fast, how did you ask her? Because that's also important before we get to her response. What was your tone like?
Bro, I messaged her,
Yeah. I
was just like I said, everything is fine at this moment, isn't it? So I said to her, I said, have you noticed this? He had a rash on his neck. It wasn't anything complicated. It wasn't as if I was having a dig at her or anything. I was just simply just asking a simple question. Like, I just picked him up. We just got back to my mum's crib. Oh, I've noticed this thing in the back of his neck. Like,
yeah, of course.
Obviously, she's not clocked in, so she don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I then FaceTimed her to show her.
Yeah.
But bro, I don't know where something got lost. Yeah. It was like after I came off the phone to her, bro. I feel like I wanna get the right. I want to get the right words, bro, because it's mad. It's actually crazy. I said, do you know why his cheek is a little swollen?
His cheek
is a little swollen.
Yeah.
That's not normal to me. So I said to her, do you know? She said, send me a pic. After she said, send me a pic, yeah, bro, bear in mind, there's no argument. Like, everything is fine, right? She said, just remind him, no later than 8 p.m. Oh. In fact, should be here 8 on the dot.
Okay. Reading that.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Bro, I was like, bro, I literally picked him up.
Yeah.
And I just gotten home and she said that. I literally got back in the car and took him back.
Okay.
Because you can't... Who are you talking to?
Okay.
I'm not the babysitter. You tell the babysitter, get my child here by 8 p.m. No later, don't... On the dot, no late. All these phrases, that's what you use. But if I don't want to bring my child home that night, who's gonna... You get what I'm trying to say? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I have the right to just go pick up my child and be at home and not take him. No, I'm not saying any of that stuff. We already had a conversation, and I've already said to you, I'm going to bring him back by this time.
Yeah.
Don't then say to me, bring in. It's the in fact.
Yeah.
On the dot. It's the little.
It's the language. Yeah.
It's just like you said. It's the language, isn't it? So I literally just took him back. She was just like, something to do with like my guilt. It's the reason why I think there's anything wrong with the way that she's spoken to man.
Okay.
Do you know what my guilt is?
What's your guilt?
Having another child with someone else.
Oh, so this was after you had.
This was 2 years ago.
2 days ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay.
There's a reason why I told you that. There's a reason why I told you that.
Okay, cool. We've spoken at length about your first child. Let's talk about the second one, right? So talk me through that.
And that's why that came out, because I told her, I'm expecting another child. Now, don't get me wrong. At this point, the one question people were asking me is, okay, bro, I know you said all of this stuff, but were you still sleeping with her? First. Yeah. Not from when I realized, well, the child was born, innit? Yeah, not from then.
Not from when the child was born.
Not from when the child was born. Because I realized there was no... This isn't going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. I'm deceiving myself, and I'm also deceiving her, because if I'm still sleeping with you, we have a child together, like I'm indirect, not necessarily telling you stuff, but come on, we're not.
You're not helping her.
I'm not helping her at all.
Yeah.
And that problem, not even that it was a problem, but that right there, I took it out of the equation from the beginning, because I know that this isn't good for me. I know that this isn't healthy for the situation that we have right now. So there's no way I'm gonna keep I'm not gonna continue sleeping with you because it does more harm than good. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I left it as that. But obviously we were still, you know, okay. We were friends. This is obviously before that incident has happened. Yeah. And then I said to her, I said, listen, I need to. When I found out, maybe I was like maybe 3 months pregnant. Not maybe 3 months pregnant, but.
So when you found out your daughter's mom.
Yeah. So when I found out my daughter's mom was pregnant, maybe about 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Spoke to my son's mom. I told her that, listen, not in those terms, innit, but it was more of and it wasn't even a random thing. It was I need to speak to you about something, and not even because I needed to. For me, it just felt like a goodwill gesture, just because
is that respect?
It's just out of respect. We've gone past you and I trying to date. We've gone past all of that stuff. You've not mentioned it to me in over how many years, whether you've moved on or not, you've not communicated that with me because, and there's been no reason for us to. It's been literally just co-parenting. Like you just told me when you need me to pick him up, or when you need me to look after him, or when you have your appointments and you need me to you just told me all of that stuff. Financially, you're good because do you know what I mean? All of that stuff's patterned. All of that stuff's calm. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So when I asked the question, I said to her, I said, listen, let's have a conversation. So I actually went to a crib to speak to her. I said, listen, I'm just telling you, I'm expecting a child now with someone I'm seeing. You know, it might get serious. I'm just letting you know that, you know, X, Y, and Z. And she was like, oh, that's like, congratulations, give me a hug, all of that stuff. Asked me if I knew what I was having, talk, like, all of that stuff was fine. There was nothing. So it then went back to, obviously I've told her this before this situation has happened. So this situation has happened from informations that I've, like the attitude is what I'm trying to get at, is stemmed from the information that I've given her, which is obviously the fact that I'm another child. But I didn't tell her that out of spite or anything. I could have just chilled and not said that. Do you get what I mean? Next thing she knows, she's just like, oh, you got another child, or yeah. I don't have that. I'm not obliged to telling you that. So the fact that she used that information that I've given her to sort of try and keep me away from my son was kind of mad.
Okay, that's fine. If it's not fine, but let's part that for now. I want to talk about your daughter. Your daughter, how is it with her mum, everything.
Yeah, man, everything's good, man. Everything's what we can do about. She's beautiful, she's blessed. Like, she loves her pops to death, bro.
I love that. So,
do you know what's mad there? I feel like I'm using my young daughter now to make up for the lost times with little man when he was a baby.
Oh, really?
That's mad.
Yeah, but
it's mad. But
what I do want to know is, so, okay, you were seeing her at the time, your son's mum, you were seeing her, and she tells you, Mathias, I'm pregnant. First thought in your mind, you're about to have a second child. What was the first thing you thought in your mind? Or how do you feel, shall I say? Considering everything you've been through.
I was in a party where she messaged me. Man. I was finished.
You sobered up immediately, didn't you?
Bro, I went outside and I called her. I was just like, what are you telling me, man? But at the time, like I said, I was finished. So I had to I left where I was and then I went outside and I sobered up. Like you said, I sobered up quick, bro.
Yeah.
But I went straight to her crib.
Okay, same night.
Same, bro. I literally left the party, went straight to her crib. I was just like, well, we're here now, and I'm not gonna tell you. Like, I'm not gonna say.
Speak freely.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say get rid of it simply because I'm not. Bro, I even think it came out, bro. I even think I suggested it. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I don't think there's a problem with that.
I think not suggested it in so many ways, but I just said, what did I say? I just said.
You asked about it.
Do you know why? I didn't ask about it because I'm against it.
Okay.
But at that point, it wasn't as if I asked her, but I think it was maybe a comment based off of what she had said.
Mm-hmm.
But then after a minute, I was just like, listen, it is what it is. Long story short, anyway, like obviously I went to speak to her. I was obviously in two minds because not only am I, obviously she's just told me that she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fighting another battle with
yeah.
my mother. Like, it just all became long. I was just like, oh, what's going on? But mentally, I was able to sort of like deal with the fact that I was going to have another child,
mm-hmm.
as well as sort of deal with my previous
mm-hmm.
baggage. That's what
mm-hmm.
I called it. But because that baggage was that sort of got in the way, not got in the way, but got in the way of bad. Because me finding out I was having another child and having another child actually affected my relationship with my first son.
Mm-hmm.
Because from that message that I sent, I didn't see him for about a year and a half.
You didn't see him?
Didn't see him for about
FaceTime?
A year and a half. The only time I was able to FaceTime was when her sister called me on Father's Day.
Without prying too hard into your situation, why couldn't you see him for a year and a half? Oh, so you asked and it was rejected?
Bro, it's not even like, man.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah, do you know what it is? Yeah. It's not even like asked and rejected. It was more since that situation happened, because obviously there needs to be, how can I say, we're both 50-50 in this. We both need to give as much as the other, because we're both in this 50-50.
I agree, yeah.
It wasn't 50-50. Like I said to you, I just felt like a donor at the time.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? So it was like, yeah, you wanted to make a relationship work out of this, but we're both adults and we both sort of had conversations about this, and we both sort of knew that it wasn't the right path for us to take because we felt like we were doing it for the wrong reason. You said that yourself. We both agreed to it. So me moving on shouldn't have affected my relationship with my son. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then after that,
a year and a half.
Just blocked, man.
Okay, that changes.
So
everything.
that's why there's no.
So how did you? After a year and a half, what was it that led to reunion? It's still current.
It's still current, and that's why I said.
I'm sorry to hear that,
bro.
I'm sorry to hear that. Genuinely,
because it's crazy. A lot of people read like the past year would always. How's Makai? How's Makai?
Yeah.
Because they always used to see him around me.
Yeah.
Always used to see him. Like, I would go to friends' barbecues and take him with me. I would go to, like, it would be all over my socials. Like, everyone loves him. But after a while, they was like, hold on, they ain't seen him or seen him around. I was just like, if I sit down and tell you guys where all of this is.
Tell them to watch this, man. They can get a lowdown of what's happened.
Bro.
But, okay, so
sorry to interrupt.
No worries.
It's crazy because we're still in that situation.
Yeah.
That's why one of the first things I said to you, I'm limited.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Certain things that I have to say or can say because I don't know what's going to be twisted or,
of course.
or used against me. But I'm not going to hold anything back. Like taking to the law or trying to get the law involved in it is the one thing that I don't want to do.
Of course. Understandably.
Because, bro, I don't want them people in my business at all. I don't want it. So it's a bit difficult. I tell you, the only answer, the only solution that I haven't sort of like exercised is violence, bro. As in, when I mean violence, I mean I just turn up at school, pick him up, and I take him. I've got his birth certificate. I've got everything. No one's
do you know where it's...
You get what I'm trying to say?
I get.
Like, just move mad.
Yeah.
You lot think because I've chilled or man's calm, you can fuck around. It's like, I can be psycho as well. I can't.
What I would say to you is there's no winner in that scenario.
There's no winner. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's bro, I'm making it worse. I'm making it 10 times worse if I do that. That's a temporary fix because I'll see him right there and then. But I don't want to see him see me going back and forth with his mom in public. Or having federalists come in and do that. Bro.
Yeah, of course.
I keep them people as far away from me as possible. But it's just looking like...
Generally speaking, how do you feel right now about the entire situation? Are you disappointed? Are you annoyed? Are you angry? Are you sad?
Mad. I'm angry, bro. Mentally, I was, bro, my boys, like my friends are like, they were able to sort of stay with man. Because, but they knew how much he meant to me, especially the little time that not the little time that we spent, but like just that little. It's 5, so he didn't really live for much. But the man then was able to sort of like keep me sane to an extent. Obviously, you have family, you have friends, and everyone that's there. But like, it was always easier for the man then to be able. It was always easier for me to be able to like work through that whole situation and that whole scenario. But yeah, bro, I'm still angry, and I'm still. Do you know what I'm angry? Do you know what, bro? I'm not angry anymore. I was angry before. I'm not even angry anymore. Now I'm just like, let me just give my son, man. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, I'm done with the fighting. I'm done with the. Just let me do what I need to do. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, bro, there's so many of my female friends that just want to move wild and just.
No. That's also not worth it. But my question is, have you? So right now as we're speaking. Have you ever asked her, what is it that she wants? Like, what will it take for you to...
Bro, there's no communication between us.
You said she's fully blocked you.
There's no communication between us at the moment. At the moment, what am I need to... No, what am I need to... Funny enough, I bumped into one of her closest friends a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, yo, I should get in touch with her, as in the friend, not her. Just get in touch with her. And that might be one avenue I might go through and see if, but it's a thing where if I don't get some sort of authority involved, it's gonna be okay for like a day, and then the next day it's gonna be something else.
Okay, let's switch to more positive news. Your daughter,
beautiful baby girl. Man.
Yeah, how often do you see her?
Bro, every day, bro.
Every day she lives with you.
Every day, bro.
That's it's quite the contrast between,
and that's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm reliving that whole little man being a baby. And bro, I ain't even given little man a bath before ever.
Really? Just
something as simple as giving him a bath. Don't get me wrong. He spent time with me. He spent, do you know what I mean? But something as significant as that.
It's a bath. Yeah.
So it's like, what's it been like from the beginning? Do you get what I mean? But yeah, like you said, on to positive notes. Now my daughter, she's great, man. She's gonna be 2 in May. She started talking. She's talking. I see similarities between her and
your son, or between her and you.
Son. Yeah. I see a lot. I see it, bro. It's mad.
Saying all this, do you feel deep down is there resentment there towards your son's mum? If there isn't, it's fine. If there is, it's also fine. Yeah. There is.
Yeah. It's.
If you could give her a message today, just be like, to let her know how she's made you feel over the last 5 years, what would you say to her?
Crazy that you asked me that, because
it's a lot. It's been a roller coaster.
Man, I ain't even like thought about it to like. I saw her like, because I went to church a couple of weeks ago. Bro, it's crazy. Like, I went to church a couple of weeks ago, right? And then I was sitting like a couple rows. It was an event there, so I was sitting like a couple rows back. And I didn't even think that they were both gonna be there. So I'm sitting a couple rows back, and I see little man in front of me, bro. And I tell you, I lost it.
Did he see you?
At first, he didn't see me, but then he turned around and then he saw me. And then he lost it because he was poking his mom, and I could hear him like poke. You know how kids are just poking and just be like. But obviously, she's doing all of this, trying to. I'm like, all of this is not necessary. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, but he's got off now and ran to me, and he's literally just chilled with me the whole time. But obviously, I couldn't bring myself to go to her and say anything, and vice versa. She couldn't bring herself to come to me and say anything. So to answer your question, bro, I don't know.
That's fair.
I genuinely don't know. Like I said to you, violence is the only thing that I ain't done. Obviously, I'm not gonna go and just be aggressive and be
of course.
I demand that. Do you know what I mean? She has to want to do it. She has to want to act right for me to. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can say to her. Do you know what I mean? I can just say whatever I need to say. I've already shown with actions that yo, I'm here. I need to be in my son's life. Like it's no questions. There's no questions asked. There's nothing. There's no debate to it. It's a fact that I need to be in his life as much as I possibly can for my benefit, for his benefit, for our family's benefit. Do you get what I mean? So if she was to walk in right now, I don't know what to say. But where's my son? Can I? Like, do you know what I mean? There's nothing. I can't say much, bro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to say.
Okay.
Apart from big.
In the interest of time, I just want to know. So, going back 6 years ago when your son's mom was pregnant, from that day onwards, what would you do differently? What would you change about the entire situation? Understandable. Understandable.
What would I do differently?
What would you do differently?
We're going 6 years. Bro, like, you see, I would. It's difficult again, bro, because there was nothing. I don't want to sound big-headed or anything, bro. There was nothing man did wrong. You get what I'm trying to say? It's like, I can't say, oh, I will try as much as possible to be there more or make.
I can pick out a few things.
Well, okay, talk to me.
I can pick out a few
things. As a neutral, talk to me.
As a neutral, yeah. Honestly, the first thing is, I'll tell about my situation, right? From the moment I realized that us getting into a relationship wouldn't be for me or for her or for us, it'll be for the sake of our daughter. I decided that was the wrong way to go about it. Like, I didn't even. Like, my mum asked me, her parents asked me, and I was like, listen, guys, you all waste your time as a collective. Like, no. If it does come, it will happen on its own eventually. But for now, I'm not doing it just because there's a child here. Like, it's the wrong way to go about it. We have to choose each other.
Yeah.
In a relationship, you have to choose each other. You have to pick each other. You don't just do it for the sake of something else, right? That's the first thing. Second thing is, the third parties, people getting involved, etc. Yeah, but to be fair, you are African. Yeah, she's African, so you can't really.
You can't avoid them. Yeah. Bro, even my pops will come from Nigeria. He don't know about my pops is a politician in Nigeria. Yeah, bro. He has no business. Coming here to try and. Yeah. Bro, when he comes here, the first thing he's telling me is, "Oh, give me, thing is dad's number." I'm like, "Pop, that's."
It's Nigeria.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And even to go back to that point, that's a very, very valid point in terms of not doing things just for the sake of it. But bro, the way things was peak at that time.
You felt cornered.
Bro, I had to.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it wasn't as if it was like a public thing. Like, no. It was literally just between both of us. It wasn't as if the family, mom knew that we were trying to work. Because I was just like, you're getting way too many people involved in this way too early. Like, we just if we were going to be together, if anything's gonna happen from this is the early stages, and this is already where we're at. Where stepdad saying this, dad saying this, mom saying this person saying this, that person saying this, and you don't really have control over that. It's a bit mad, isn't it? So. I guess that is the one outcome that I would take from maybe taking that advice of maybe not doing that is whatever's happened now would have probably happened earlier than it did. Yeah. All I did was just buy time, bro.
Yeah.
I literally did that. I just bought time.
Yeah.
And by doing that, I could spend time, bro. I felt like that's what I did there. Made my son actually know who I am as a dad, not as someone that mommy knows or someone that just looks familiar. Do you get what I mean? Because I feel like if I hadn't done that, where I am right now would have been, instead of the last 2 years, would have been the last 5-6 years. So it is, in hindsight, like I said,
it's always 2020.
Hindsight is a beautiful
It's
thing.
always 2020. Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Because
you always make the right choices in hindsight. Yeah. Every single time. You never get it wrong.
You can't get it wrong in hindsight. Do you know what I mean? You can't get it wrong. But yeah, man.
Yeah. But you know what? First of all, well done on surviving this long, on making it happen this long, because that kind of situation can break a man. People might not agree to it, but it can break a man. It can, it can break a man, and especially it can challenge your masculinity as well. It can make you feel like, you know what, you're not a dad, you're not getting allowed to be a dad. So congrats on making it this far. What I will encourage you to do is to ask her, reach out to her. I know she's blocked you, but get creative. Reach out to her, like, what is it that you're after? What is it that you actually want? What will it take for you to get me to see my son? That's it. And if she can give you a list of demands, if she says to you, this is what I need, if she doesn't answer, then at least you know you're trying. But from what I'm saying, it's easy for me to say this because obviously I'm not in your position. I don't know what you've been through and through, but I think you never stop trying.
Yeah, no,
you never stop trying.
It's not, and the thing is, I always believe everything happens for a reason. When you reached out to me and said you wanted to do this, it's not a coincidence that we're doing this today. But it's roughly around the time. It's her birthday. It's her birthday.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
And it's like I told you I saw her friend like a couple of weeks ago. Was like, listen, man, just try and reach out to me. Let me just give me a shout. So it's not a coincidence that she said that we're doing this morning. You said what?
Yeah.
You said. Do you get what I mean? Like, I would always try any.
No, Jules, I speak to a lot of men. Anyway, I speak to a lot of fathers, and one thing is, there's always that thing that there's always a point where it's just like, you know what, this is too much. It's too much. This is going on for too long. I can't do this no more. And like you said, they actually get broken. And for me, it's always just simple as ask her what she wants. If she tells you what she wants and it's within your means, it's that simple. If she asks for something outrageous that you can't do, for example, if she says to you, she probably wouldn't. But if she says to you something like, oh, I want you to be with me and not with her, then you know that one, she's giving you an impossible ultimatum and she's actually weaponizing your son against you for her benefit. And that's wrong, right? So it's just, you never stop trying. This is the point I'm getting at.
I mean,
you never
bro,
stop trying.
Listen, you never stop. Like
you never stop trying.
You never stop trying. That's my little man. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, nothing's ever gonna change that. Nothing's ever gonna change that. So, like, I don't plan on stopping.
Yeah,
I'm definitely
begging you.
There's no way. There's no room for me to stop. Do you get what I mean? Like, that's my son, bro. Like,
it's your boy. It's your boy.
Bro, I'm not angry, but I'm angry, bro. You're allowed to. Like, I'm just like, bro, do you know what's crazy, bro? When he was younger, he used to, like, I played the drums in it. Like, play the drums in it.
Okay.
Musical instrument, yeah. And then he started playing when he was like, well, not that he started playing, but he started showing signs. You know how kids start showing signs? But it's like, bought him a drum set because, bruv, you got just develop them, whatever. And I didn't get the opportunity, but when I saw that you've shown interest in things like that, I've got to make sure that, you know.
You nurture it.
But you're not even giving me that. Like, we've given you the set, but we've not given you anything to develop it. So just little things like that just piss me off, man. But listen, like you said, I'm never going to give up.
Please.
I'm praying all the time, not just for me, but for her as well. Not just for us, for like the family as well. And just praying that. I'm not perfect, you know what I'm trying to say, bro. Man's not perfect, but I'm just praying for like to be a better person. She can be a better person, and we can both be a better person for our child, man. But,
yeah, Mathias, in the interest of time, we're gonna start wrapping this up.
No,
but
cool.
what is gonna happen is I want you back for a future season. I cannot lie to you. And when that time comes, I hope the ending of this story is very, very different. Where can they find your social media? I've spoken about Fox in the Box. Where can they find you on social media?
So the business obviously is Fox in the Box. So Fox in the Box LDN on Twitter, Instagram,
YouTube.
Complay on YouTube as well. Complay and Escape Room, and then my personal Insta is Mathias Jones _ on Twitter, Instagram. YouTube, not YouTube as well. But
thank you for sharing your story with us, man.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Cheers.